Hello everyone, welcome to SwitchUp as we once again have a look at some of the games coming out for the Switch in this upcoming week. The dates that we'll be covering for this particular episode will go from the 22nd of January up until the 28th, and along with some interesting looking games, there is definitely one this week that I'm sure a lot of you will be very interested in and looking forward to, no doubt. We'll have a look first at a couple of games that have crept out without appearing in one of these videos for whatever reason before getting on to the week in hand. So with all that said, what's coming out on the Switch this week? Well, let's find out. A quick look at a couple of games that are already out then, as I said, and the first is Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Duel. This is a free-to-play digital trading card game, and the blurb says that it is the definitive edition of the card game that has been evolving for over 20 years, as you can now play the trading card game digitally anywhere. It doesn't give much mention of how the free-to-play model will work, other than saying you will be given a deck after the tutorial, so perhaps anyone who has downloaded it already can give us a few more details in the comments section. And the other game we'll highlight this week is SNK vs Capcom Card Fighters Clash. This is the latest in the Neo Geo Pocket Color games to release on the Switch, having originally released for that system back in 1999. It was released as two separate games back then. You had the SNK version and the Capcom version, but both of these are bundled together in this particular package. There are 300 cards in total, character cards for fighting and action cards to support in battle, and you can trade between both versions, with each game having their own save data, and as with all of these releases, it has a digital manual from the original version included. It's selling for £7.19. Looking at the games coming out this week, and the first one is Reverie Knights Tactics, which is a turn-based tactical RPG with battles on an isometric grid and decisions that can alter the story. You are able to customise your character's attributes, skills and accessories to heighten their performance, travel across the map unlocking secret quests, and react to strategies and manipulate parts of the battle environment using scenario effects to your advantage. It has a nice hand-drawn style, and there's definitely an audience for tactics games on the Switch. It will sell for £20.99 or your regional equivalent, but it does have 15% off of that price up until the 1st of February. The next one is Angelo and Deemon, One Hell of a Quest. This is a point and click adventure game, and to be honest, I would have bet my mortgage on that being the case before even looking at it based on the title alone. You play as a blogger named Angelo who, after a series of unfortunate events, ends up in hell with the Grim Reaper, searching for more views. The trailer includes a bunch of pop culture references, and you can bet it will use that quirky humour that has been a staple of point and click adventure games for so many years. It's coming out on the 25th if it appeals to you, and it's going to sell for £10.99.
Look man, my channel is dying. Advertisement rates are getting lower for me. If I don't upload some...
Next then is PopSlinger, and interestingly this describes itself as a musical beat 'em up with shooting action. You are on a quest to save the world from sinister invaders from another dimension using soda-powered guns, and the gameplay looks a little bit like Zombies Ate My Neighbours, albeit perhaps on a more horizontal plane like a beat 'em up rather than adopting Zombies' top-down movement style. It says here that the aesthetic was inspired by 90s Japanese animation and brought to life with a marker style and VHS infused sprites, with the filter shown in the trailer definitely giving that vibe. Certainly sounds interesting. I like the vibrancy of the graphics, and I am intrigued to see how big a part the music plays in terms of the actual gameplay. It's also out on the 25th, and it will cost you £11.89 or your regional equivalent.
PopSlinger.
Then we have Gunvolt Chronicles Luminous Avenger IX2. I've played a couple of games in this series, being Azure Strike Gunvolt and Mighty Gunvolt Burst, which I think is a spin-off, and I really enjoyed them both. They are 2D action platformers, and the emphasis is definitely on the action, and the series is most similar to Mega Man, I guess, in terms of style and mechanics, with you gaining a new weapon after defeating a boss, which you can then use to exploit the weakness of future bosses. You have two forms, Break Shift, which is more power based, and Bullet Shift, which is all about speed, and it comes via Inti Create and will sell for £19.99 or your regional equivalent. It does have 10% off of that price though, up until just before launch.
Next weapons. With the help of a new partner, Null will cope and be able to return to his home world.
On the 26th we have another action platformer with COGEN Sword of Rewind. This tells the tale of a girl named Kahaku who teams up with a talking sword called X-Breaker as she looks to discover the truth of what has happened to her home. It says here that you can use X-Breaker's Ouroboros system, which will kick in every time you are killed and allows you to rewind back 3 seconds, and you must use this mechanic to overcome puzzles and obstacles. It's always quite nice to see a game put a spin on a classic formula, and I do like the art style. It looks quite similar to the previous game funnily enough, albeit this time it's hand-drawn. There is a demo available, which is a smart move when a game includes a gameplay mechanic which could split audience's opinion, and this is another game that has a 10% discount until launch on its price of £22.49.
目的地への誘導を開始する。
正直まだ状況がよく分かってないんだけど。
琥珀ならば進みながら把握できると判断。
Next then we have Vagante, an action roguelike platformer which can be played in single player or with friends both locally and online. It's set in a dark fantasy world where a rumour of an unfathomable treasure lost in a cave sees you set off for adventure. It uses procedural generation in terms of its levels, and you can choose your class and acquire skills as you play. As I mentioned, it can be played with up to 4 players, and there are secrets and items to discover, and the action in the trailer reminds me a little bit of something like Spelunky, maybe mixed with the action of Rogue Legacy. Looks decent either way. It's out on the 27th and it will cost £11.59. Next we have Unforeseen Incidents, which is an interactive mystery where you play as a man named Harper who, after meeting a dying woman in the street, gets pulled into a conspiracy and a fight for the future of mankind itself. The world built is created using a hand-painted style, and the blurb goes on to say that you will explore intriguing locations, solve challenging puzzles and meet lots of interesting characters. 2 point-and-click games releasing this week then, which is an unusual occurrence, so fans of that genre will have a lot to look out for. This one is out on the 27th and it will sell for £17.99 or your regional equivalent.
Yelltown fever.
It's not quite as simple as finding a cure. By all accounts, it kills in a matter of hours, not days.
The infected woman was talking kinda strange. She gave me an envelope for a reporter named Helliwell. I think there's something...
And finally for the week then, the game that most people no doubt have been looking forward to, we have Pokemon Legends Arceus. Now I have to admit that I have stayed away from pretty much any of the information from this game owing to the fact I plan on getting it for my daughter for her birthday and would quite like to play it with her without having a huge amount of prior knowledge. I know that this game is set long before the events of Diamond and Pearl but does take place in the Sinnoh region, and the blurb describes it as a way of honouring past Pokemon games' core gameplay whilst infusing it with new action and RPG elements as you catch, survey and research wild Pokemon to create the region's first Pokédex. Pokemon games always seem to be a hot topic, with fans split on decisions made for each new game, and as someone who sees it all more through the eyes of their young child who is a fan, I find the strong views of the older fans quite fascinating. I'd be interested to see how people feel about this newer game in the comments section. Is this the Pokemon game you've always wanted, or is it a case of so close but so far? Let me know. Anyway, it releases on the 27th for the standard Nintendo price of £49.99 or your regional equivalent. So there you have it, another week of Nintendo Switch releases. Is there anything there that interests you? Is it too hard to look past a Pokemon game? Or is there anything else there that you would be picking up? Don't forget, we've also still got 10% off of our eShop cards on our website, switchup.gg. Again, link in the top pinned comment if you want to get yourself some eShop credit and save a bit of money at the same time. Thank you to our Patreons as always for your continued support, and to each and every one of you for watching our videos. Take care, and until next time, happy gaming.